just want to get the best score. They want to beat everybody else out. Nobody. You get 100%. If they get the bonus over 100%, then they get extra bonus points. Otherwise, everybody gets kind of 95% or so. Okay, are we ready? Am I recording? Oh, I am. I thought I paused it. Okay. Ready? You got it up? Right? Okay, you're going to have to do some work. The thing I didn't like about the video was the fact that it didn't show the work. And then, of course, when I went and wrote on the smartboard, that stopped the video. Not the sound, but the video. Okay, so let's do this. This is 1/2 times x. Now, I gave you the values here, which is helpful. Sure. And I'm going to put in a -2, and then it's -3. If you need a calculator, I'll give you one. Okay? We're good there. What's 1/2 times a -2? Adam? Okay, Keaton, what is it? Forget the negative sign right now. What's 1/2 of 2? I have $2. You get half. How much do you get? Riley? I have $2, you get half. I get 1. Just 1. What's a positive times a negative? Keaton, put that away. What's a positive times a negative? Negative. And then it's -3. Does anybody know that answer? Corey, do you know what that answer is? We're doing this problem. Yeah? What's -1 minus 3? Adam? Yeah, take your headsets off. You're not focusing. You guys might need some calculators. I got a bunch here. Do I have a pass? Now, I don't know how many of these have batteries that still work, but if you don't know how to do this, -4. Good job. How many of these do I need?
Just 2.
Okay, let's see what works here. Well, what is? You can use your own calculators and you can use mine, but I'm trying to find some that have batteries. Okay. Well, that one doesn't work either, I don't think. Yes, it does. So use a calculator. Keaton, we're not drawing. We are doing some math. Share a little bit. I don't know if this got batteries either. It does. So if you don't know, use your calculator. Trying to find. Oh wait, I have mine too. Yeah, you have to grab them. Now. Yeah. Now the question is, this guy in the video said that you needed 4 dots. You do not need 4 dots. We'll do a little geometry. What's the minimum number of dots you need to draw a line? How many lines can I draw through one? Too many. I want only 1 line. So what if I do 2 dots? How many lines do I get? 1. But any 2 dots will give me a line. So if I do my dots wrong, it might not give me the right line. What if I add another dot? The 3rd dot has to lie on the line for it to be the right one. So really, all you need are 3 values. 4 is just extra insurance. So Nick said this was -4. So if you don't know how to do this, you can use your calculator to do it. Actually, there's a couple of ways you can use a calculator to do it. I'm going to do the TI-84s because these guys are not working. But they all work. I mean, all the calculators are about the same. There's another one that works. Okay. And there's a lot of ways I can teach you how to use a calculator to do this nicely. Right now, we're just going to type it in. Okay, so I think I pretty print, but I'm not sure. It's 1 divided by 2, and then we are going to type in what? -2. Now you could make 1/2 a decimal. What is 1/2 as a decimal? What's half a dollar? How much pound? 50 cents. Okay. And then you want to do -3. So you could do it this way. I don't really care. Or if you don't know what that, you can do these separately. So now with these nice calculators, you can go through, now this is the 84, some of you have Inspires. You can go through and go second, enter, and then you can go back up here. Oops, too far. Press enter, it'll bring it back down, and then you can go back in and edit this. And so -2, I want to replace by a -1. See that? I'm going to make that a 1. Everybody with me? Evan? And then I press enter. Oh, that's what he's talking about. Don't like that, do you? Do you like -3.5? That's not necessarily a good choice. I don't know how to graph that. So let's graph -2, -4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then -1 is -3.5. Ugh. Do you like that one, Keaton? I don't like that one, especially if it's thirds or eighths or sixteenths or worse. Okay, let's try 0. What's 1/2 times 0 minus 3? I'm going to make you think here. What's 1/2 of 0? What's half of nothing, Evan? Evan, put your books away, please. What's 1/2 of nothing? Keaton, what's half of nothing? Nothing. And what's nothing? Take away 3. What's that going to give me? -3. Do you have to type it on the calculator? Type it on the calculator. Because that's not my goal. You already need to know sign numbers. If you don't, you use the calculator. My goal is for you to understand how to use a table of values and graph the line. Then we're going to make another connection here. So -3, that's much nicer. That's right here. I need to do at least one more point. Let's do just one more point. Which one do you want to put into our equation, the 1 or the 2? And then tell me why. Because 1 is a better choice. Evan, which one do you want to put into the equation, 1 or 2? Why? That's right. I'll tell you you're right. But why do you want to put in 2? Andrew, can you help him? Why would he not want to use 1? If you put in 1, you get 1/2 of 1 minus 3. If you put in 2, you get 1/2 of 2 minus 3. Which one's easier to work with? Do you want to do half of 1 or half of 2? 2. Why would you choose 2? Because 2 divides into 2. So what's half of 2? 1. So what's 1 take away 3? You need to write it out. I can do it in my head, but I know you guys have problems with this. That's -2. If I were to choose another number, I wouldn't choose 3. What number would I choose? What else does 2 go into? I don't want to get decimal fractions. 4, 6, all numbers that 2 go into. If that's 1/3, I want to pick numbers that 3 divide into. Okay, so let's see. 2 and -2. By the way, what's the slope here? Connect. What's this distance here? Keaton, that's 2. That's 1. What's the slope? No, careful. 1/2. Okay, what's the slope of my equation? Remember which one the slope is. Which one's the slope? If you understand why this is the y-intercept, then it's easy to remember that that's the slope. That's the y-intercept. That's where you begin. That's your b. What's the x value for b? Always 0. Yeah, you got to be engaged. You got to be thinking here. That's why those headsets should be off, Corey. No, I don't believe you. Okay, let's try another. Oh, that was it. I had another one. Let's try one more. Make one up, because this is one I made up in my little book, which of course I can't get published for some reason. We want to graph 3x plus 2y equals 6. So on a new piece of page in your iPads, you can create this, or you can put it right into your handout. And then you're going to turn these in, and they count for points. So I want you to do this, and this is called a t-table. Because it looks like a T. Right? Doesn't that kind of look like a T? Yes? No? Does it look like a T? Evan? A T looks like this, right? Looks like a T. Okay, then this is going to be X, and this is going to be Y. Now, the guy on the video chose to solve for Y. Why did he do that? Can you just pick any X value you want? What's the easiest X value you can put in there? Easiest number of all. 0. Okay. When you put 0 in, you get 2 times 0. No, you don't. Excuse me. You get 3 times 0 plus 2y equals 6. What's 3 times 0? I'm going to show you 2 ways to do this. It's 0. It's the same as just covering that up and ignoring it. And then 2y is equal to 6, so what's y equal to? Just by inspection, Corey? No. 2 times what is 6?
3.
3. What's wrong with doing it that way? Absolutely nothing. How many points do we need? Minimum. The least. 0, 3, there's a whole bunch of lines that go through 0, 3. I want to get the one line that represents all numbers that make that sentence true. I need to have at least one more point. Now, is there any rule that says we have to put in for X? Couldn't we put something in for Y? Evan? Couldn't I put any number I want in for Y? Keaton? Think. Is there anything that says I can only put in numbers for X? There's nothing there. Adam, what would you like to put in for Y? I don't want to do X again. I want to do Y this time. 3 times X plus 2 times something gives me 6. Now I want the easiest number that Y could be. What's the easiest number Y could be? No, you're right. 1 is pretty easy, but there's an easier one. No, the easiest one of all. 0. Let's put 0 in there. Because what's 2 times 0? 0. It's the same as just covering that up, and you get 3x equals 6. Now, by inspection, what number do you multiply 3 by to get 6? You've been doing this since 3rd grade. 3 times what gives you 6? 2. Yeah, let's not make math hard. Math is not hard. You simply have to know the rules. You have to know your basic arithmetic facts, or use a calculator, and you got to know the rules. That's multiplying. So when y is 0, x is 2. Now, I would like to do an insurance one, and the problem is you can put any number you want in for x or any number you want to put in for y. It doesn't make any difference, except that some are easier than others. Does anybody have one they want to guess? What do you want to make 2? X or y? It doesn't make any difference. Okay, so I'm going to try x equal to 2. So I have 3x plus 2y equals 6. I like to have that in front of me. And we're going to try x equal to 2. And, well, we already have x equal to 2. It's 0. Isn't it? So 3 times 2 plus 2 times a number equals 6. 6 plus 2y equals 6. What happens to the 6's? What would you do to solve that? You would subtract what? You guys know how to do this. You would subtract 6. Corey, pay attention. I'm going to be done really quickly. So 2y equals what? 0. 2 times what gives you 0? I'm setting the stage for next year. 0. Well, we already had that one. So you want to make y equal to 2 instead? It makes no difference. So why don't we try y equal to 2? There's an easier way to do this. Here's the problem. What does that give us? 3x plus what? No, what's 2 times 2? 4. Just follow the rules. The rules say we multiply and then we add. The rules say we want to get x by itself, so we have to undo adding 4. So what do we do to do that? Subtract 4. So 3x equals, not negative 2, 2. Oops. Can you do that by inspection, or do we have to actually solve it? What do you have to do to solve? Divide by what? 3. Ooh. Now, be careful. X is 2/3, so it's 2/3, comma, y was 2. Watch your order. That's why they're called ordered pairs. I don't know about you, but I don't like the fraction. I'm not very good at graphing fractions. So here's what we could do to make life a little easier. We're going to take 3x plus 2y equal to 6, and we are going to solve for y just like we did before. Just like we weren't very good at it, but we did it before. Some of you try to do it in your head. I don't even do it in my head, and I've been doing this for, I think how old I am? At least 45 years. And I don't do it in my head. How old does that make me? Okay, subtract what? How do you get to 2y by itself? Negative 3 what? X. So add a negative 3x to both sides. Oh, I like this problem. So I get 2y is equal to 6 take away 3x. And then what are we going to do? Divide by 2. Now, I can't always see when it's in that other form. It's called standard form. That's 3 minus 3/2 of x. I can't always see when I'm in this standard form right here what values I want to put in for x or y, not easily. And I've been doing this for a long time. So I solve for y. Now what values do you want to put in for x? I don't want to put in 1 or 3 or 5. What kind of numbers do I want to put in for x? I could have solved for x in terms of y, by the way. Didn't matter. What kind of numbers do you want to put in here? X is equal to, obviously 0 is easy. What's the next easy one? 2. 1 is going to give me a fraction. 2. 4. Did I solve that right? Oh, yeah, because we did the other way around. 6. Okay. Any even number, because 2 divides into an even number. Okay, Corey? You want to pick numbers that 2 will divide into evenly. There it is. So, what number? We've already done 0 and 2. We've got to pick another one. What would you like to try? What would you like to try? Corey, what number would you like to try? I already did 0 and 2. Any multiple of 2. You want to try 6. Perfect. Okay, can you guys do that without a calculator or not? Y equals 3 minus. Now, you guys did not like it when I reviewed multiplying fractions. Guess what? To go on into math, you're going to have to either have a calculator tied to your wrist or you're going to have to know how to do it. Unfortunately, there's many tests in many colleges that will not let you use a calculator. So that's a problem. So we better know how to do it. 2 goes into 2 how many times? Once. 2 divides into 6 how many times? So 3 times 3 is what? 9. So y equals 3 take away 9, which is negative 6. Okay, I'm going to do my best to create a graph here. My ordered pairs are 0, 3, and 2, 0. And these have special meanings. And then this was, you picked 6, right? 6, negative 6. These are my intercepts because it's where the line hits the axes. It intercepts, like a pass interception. So I'm going to do the best I can to graph it on my no graph paper here, which isn't going to be very pretty, but it'll work. 0, 3. That hits the y-axis, so what's that called? Corey, what's that called? Put that away, please. It's called the y-intercept. And guess what? 2, 0 is over here. Guess what that's called? What axis is it? X-intercept. Okay. And then I'm going to go to 6 and down to negative 6. It looks like it's in the right place. And we could check it out. It's a little easier on the Inspire, but we could check it out. What I can do is go into my graphing calculator. Now, only way my graphing calculator works is to have y equals. I'm going to clear this out. We haven't done any graphing, but we probably should. I'm going to do y equals, and I'm going to clear that out. Those are complicated things from my calculus class, so we aren't going to do anything complicated. We're just going to type in this one. And what was y equal to? It was 3 minus 3 halves x. 3 minus, and I'm going to have to use parentheses. 3, well, actually I don't. If I think about order operations. And by the way, it gets all my students confused. And then we're going to zoom it. We press the zoom button, and we're going to zoom it decimal. Now, if you have the CAS calculator, it works a little differently. And there it is. And if I do a trace, in fact, I want to make that y a little bit bigger, and so I'm going to do that. I'm going to go down here, and that might be fun for us to actually take some time and learn how to graph on our graphing calculators. Oh, and my other y value is going to go down to negative 6. Okay, so I'm going to change my window again. If my smallest y value goes down to negative 3, it won't be on my graph. So let's make that negative 10. And that takes time just to set the window up. You think graphing calculator is going to solve all your problems when it comes to graphing. No, it does not. And then if we do a trace, oh, even my window's not going to work. Okay, I'm going to zoom decimal. That's Corey's, not zoom decimal. I'm going to zoom standard. It's Corey's fault. He picked a bigger number. I would have preferred 4, but that's okay. We'll do a trace right here. And what this calculator does, which is kind of nice, is you can just type in what you want. I can type in 2, press enter, and there it shows it, and it shows me the y value. I can press in 6, and then press enter, and I should get a negative 6, right? That's what you said. And there it is right on my line. So if you're interested in learning how to use the graphic calculator, we can take some time to do that. I would prefer actually to teach you the Inspire, because I just think it's a nicer calculator. Okay, we have a handout for this, and when you're done with this packet, that's awesome. You can turn that in. Think